to fight bigger and taller fighters.
We saw in his last fight, Canelo was able to drop Munguia, but then Munguia lasted the 12 rounds. Let's see what Berlanga can do after getting off the canvas in the third.
And you know what? That's the evolution that we're seeing in Canelo. You know, age does that. The fact that you've been fighting professionally 19 years, you got to change. You can't just go for the gusto so early. You got to wait for the later part of the fight as well.
Demi Moore. She looks great.
Yes, she does.
G.I. Jane, my favorite Demi Moore movie.
Ghost for me.
Te estás ganando los jabs. Bloqueando, pum, empieza a dominar, empieza a golpear a los hombros. Sientes aquí tan rápido. Pum, arriba y abajo.
You got to keep those hands up, and you got to have a rhythm. Make sure you block the punches and counter. Step back, and you got to counter with that strong jab. A lot of confidence. You got to stay tight.
Well, I think everyone would agree that Edgar Berlanga's best is not as good as Canelo's best. And Chris, tonight, Canelo looks pretty darn good so far.
He looks sharp so far. The power's there. I thought Berlanga recovered nicely in that fourth round. He's kept that jab moving, but right hands are what's going to win this fight. He's got to throw more of them.
Let's see if that knockdown made Berlanga a little more gun-shy.
Berlanga's not trying to penetrate the guard of Canelo with that jab. It reminds me of Kovalev again. Kovalev wasn't really trying to hurt Canelo with power shots, because the more power that you throw, the more vulnerable you are to it when you miss. That's what Canelo's so good at. He's an expert at barely moving, taking the power away from the jab and coming right back with a big counter shot.
Counter jab there from Canelo. Berlanga has only been the 12-round distance once in his career against Jason Quigley. Uh-oh.
You know, second time in the last 3 rounds that these guys have started to hit each other below the belt.
That's what fighters are supposed to do. You hit me low, return the favor.
Hey, if you don't like what the other guys do, it looks like Berlanga's got Canelo angry, and you wouldn't like him when he's angry.
Good body shot, heavy body shot. Berlanga felt that one. They want him off the ropes. He can't get off the ropes with that onslaught. That's what he needs, head movement. You got to make fighters like Canelo completely miss.
Good uppercut. That's the same shot that put Jaime Munguia down in his last fight. What a performance so far from Canelo.
Yeah, it is.
Doesn't miss a beat.
You know, Edgar Berlanga's corner is begging him during these rounds to get off the ropes. They want him to push this fight to the middle of the ring.
Easier said than done when you got a tank in front of you. A Mexican tank. I mean, look, he doesn't waste movement. He doesn't waste any kind of movement, and he's always landed with high accuracy and power. That's what Canelo does, and he cuts off the ring, makes it smaller and smaller as the rounds go on. Canelo should be throwing body shots right now, going around the guard. Berlanga's looking for a right hand, and that's the reason Canelo's not unleashing his. But I do like that corkscrew left hook that he's been throwing. Hasn't landed too cleanly, but that's a smart strategy by Alvarez.
Fantastic energy inside the T-Mobile Arena on a beautiful Saturday night on the Las Vegas Strip. And ladies and gentlemen, good clash coming to you from Manchester, England, October the 26th, as Jack Catterall faces two-time former world champion Regis Prograis. live on the home of boxing, DAZN.
There's two other fighters that know how to fight small and compact. Strong, high fight IQ, but from a short stance, they know how to fight tall fighters.
Canelo missing with the left, and then that body shot almost on the hip. That's even break a hand.
That can break your hand, but a lot of fighters do that purposely sometimes, and that's the reason they both started hitting at each other's hip. You know, they're annoying shots. If you remember Bernard Hopkins, he was a king of that. You know, in the clinch, he would just punch you in the hip.
The hips don't lie. Well, we have now reached round 6, the round that Edgar Berlanga told us he would knock Canelo out. Let's see if he can pull off a miracle.
And let's see if Canelo can turn the tables on the young bull.
Chris, are you seeing anything from Berlanga that leads you to believe he can turn this fight around?
I'm not seeing enough right hands. Look, I think the jab is okay at this point. Some of these jabs get gobbled up in the guard of Canelo Alvarez, but so far, you know, the right hands, the power shots are largely being thrown by Canelo Alvarez.
Here's Chris Mannix's scorecard through 5 full rounds.
Yeah, and I've got it a clean sweep, 5 rounds to 0 in favor of Canelo Alvarez with that 1-10-8 round thrown in. I don't think Edgar Berlanga is embarrassing himself at this point. Did I give him credit for hopping back up after that knockdown and staying right back in the fight? But you know, you gotta. His team is begging him to stay off the ropes. They want him pressing the action, just not been able to do it.
Downstairs again goes Canelo, warned to keep him up by Harvey Dock. Good to see he's okay after being dropped there in round 5. Left hook. That has been the money punch for Canelo in this fight. There's a right hand from Berlanga. Best punch maybe of this fight for him.
Berlanga is impressed with that right hand. He's been alternating it from a straight right hand over the top, looping with overhand right hand, and a sneaky right uppercut that Canelo's doing a good job avoiding.
A little bit of swagger there from Berlanga.
Well, maybe that's what he needs, Chris. He needs to do something to energize himself. We saw that earlier with Caleb Plant. He started talking a lot of trash against Trevor McCumbee, and he turned things around and got the stoppage win. Berlanga's keeping the left hand low. Can the chosen one find a way to crack open Alvarez's safe? What's the combination? He needs dynamite to blow it open. And he's got it in that right hand, but he just can't seem to find the target.
Love the way Canelo's gutting him to the belly. Right now, Berlanga's not giving you a target upstairs. Just target the ribs of Berlanga.
Better round there for Berlanga.
Snapping those jabs, you know, even though that right hand missed right there, those jabs were nicely. So do the referees, the judges, do they like the jabs or do you like the body shots from Canelo? Personally, I like the body shots. They take more out of you. You can dictate the pace with the jabs, but you get hurt with body shots.
Are you sure? We alert, right? Everything is use that jab, use those feints. You gotta shoot that right hand right down on his chin. Right, every now and then shoot a right uppercut. When he's close, come on, hook through his sword.
You know, I completely agree with Mark Farid in the corner of Edgar Berlanga. You got to shoot that right hand. The jab is definitely an effective weapon, but you got to shoot that right hand when it's open.
Round 7 scheduled for 12 here at the T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Watch your foot, watch your foot.
Canelo seemingly has won every round. But Berlanga didn't talk about winning by decision. He talked about winning by knockout, and at this point, that seems the only path to victory. But how does he drop Canelo, who's never been dropped before in 65 pro fights? I feel like Berlanga's kind of caught between two things here, Chris. It's not as if he's trying to survive, but he's not going all out to try and win either. Do you feel that?
No, I definitely don't think, and there's a little bit of a low blow there. Just on the belt line. Low blow, but just on the belt line. I definitely don't think he's trying to survive. I think he's trying to win. It's just he's picking his spots here. Like, it is tough to throw right hands against this guy because of the counter-punching, but I definitely don't look at Berlanga as being in survival mode at this point.
Yeah, that's the right hand by Berlanga right there. Canelo caught it, but as long as he felt the power of Berlanga with that right hand, and counter with the uppercut.
Berlanga 7 years younger than Canelo. You would think he might have more energy down the stretch. He certainly needs to have it. There's a nice jab from Berlanga. Said that was the key to winning. Keep the jab in Canelo's face.
Bit of a slower round here for Canelo Alvarez, who has let Berlanga dictate much of the action this round.
Seems like Canelo's trying to lure him in, trying to bait Berlanga to build some confidence and make a mistake. Just a wily veteran is Canelo Alvarez, always trying to find a way to knock you out with every punch selection in the book. Digging down to the body, and there's that big right hand, right hook. Missed by Berlanga, and that's what I was complimenting Berlanga on earlier. He's throwing a good straight right hand, good right hook, and good right uppercuts.
Remember? Yeah. Stay disciplined. Your jab. Keep draining him. Good job. But the jab has to work, right? You're draining it, and then you know where we go. Okay. If you see something that's wrong, you take it. Be disciplined. How I told you. Patience and discipline. You just weather the storm. We out of it. See it, baby. See it, right? You hear me? Got you. Good.
Coach, mouthpiece.
What are we seeing? You see everything? All right. Say I will not be on the road. I will not be on the road.
You heard the corner there, Chris. You've weathered the storm.
I don't know if he's weathered the storm quite yet. Yes, he has had some success.
Well, over these last couple of hurricanes have that eye where it gets real calm for a little bit, and then the back end of the storm comes. Let's see if Canelo is that storm.
I think he's weathered the strongest part of the storm, but there's still a lot of power in that storm left.
Chris, did you give that last round to Berlanga?
I did. I thought his activity was a difference maker in that round.
Again, Berlanga content to be on the ropes. Ooh.
And there you go, Canelo just trying to lure Berlanga to sleep, but Berlanga's doing a good job with that jab, staying alert. This is the best I've seen Berlanga. Believe it or not, this is the best I've seen Berlanga as far as boxing goes, as far as alertness goes, and backing up and catching and countering like that. Needs to do a whole lot more, but that's what you need to do.
Just missing with the uppercut was Canelo. But it looks like Berlanga more willing to trade now here in the 8th.
Because he's more confident now because he got the speed and the power down of Canelo. And anytime Canelo misses, Berlanga comes back and punches back. That's what you need to do. A power counter puncher. Berlanga using his head. Canelo hitting on the break.
You're good. Watch your head. Don't do that. That was intentional. Don't do that. All right, time in.
You know, Sergio, Canelo's gone back to one of his favorite tactics in recent fights, which is hitting guys on the arm. You look at that left arm of Edgar Berlanga. Canelo's been targeting that arm pretty good this round. And I think it's starting to have a little bit of an impact.
Berlanga said in preparation for this fight, he was prepared for that. He knows that's what Canelo likes to do.
The reason Canelo's aiming at that arm is because I'm telling you, Berlanga's doing a good job of that upper body movement. So you got to hit whatever they give you.
Well, I think it's also to take the jab a little bit more out of play. You saw that happen with Callum Smith, who came into the fight with a big right hand
for Canelo. Forced Berlanga to take a step back here in round 8.
Like if that arm is sore and it's difficult to keep it up, not going to throw many jabs with that kind of arm.
Yeah, Canelo was doing that with Caleb Plant as well, but then he started hitting him to the right side of Caleb Plant. He started aiming at the body. Little by little, that's how he started breaking him down, and that's when he caught him with the big punch and ultimately stopped him in 11. You know, Canelo fighting bigger, stronger fighters, you can hurt him early in the fight, but it's later in the fight where the punches take their toll. The punishment takes its toll.
You know, Berlanga having this little fight in the phone booth here. He's talking to Canelo in between clinches.
Well, he's got more juice, that's for sure, does Berlanga. He's come alive these last 2 rounds.
There's that head right there. That was intentional. That came out of frustration, and he deserved that punch in between the break because a headbutt could be dangerous. I love the fact that Canelo did that. If you remember when Floyd Mayweather Jr. got headbutted by Victor Ortiz, what happened next? Victor Ortiz got knocked out in a break. That's what champions are supposed to do. You don't let anyone disrespect you like that with a headbutt. Look, you gotta look for that uppercut. Double it. Look, you gotta dip under the punches and then come up with the uppercuts.
Let's see if Berlanga can continue to build a little momentum. He's talking trash to Canelo, trying to get under his skin. Trying to use machismo. Let's check it with Gabe Rosado. What do you see in Gabe?
Yeah, you know, Canelo's doing what he's doing, breaking him down. Great body shot, great body work, but, you know, Berlanga, he can catch and shoot. He's not taking advantage of when Canelo throws the shots to his arms to fire right back. He's allowing Canelo to beat his arms up.
You know, Berlanga is showing great punch resistance so far in this fight, both upstairs and downstairs. He's been on the receiving end of some really big body shots, and he's been able to keep walking through them.
Watch your head, watch your head.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, so far, there's a one-sided, respectable effort by Edgar Berlanga.
Still some bad blood in there. Harvey Doc's got his work cut out for him.
Keep the flame. Time in.
Well, that's what you want Mexico versus Puerto Rico to be, right? Edgy, chippy. Total punches through 9 rounds. Canelo's landed about 50 more.
Yeah, man, when it comes down to this rivalry, it's Mexican machismo versus Puerto Rican power.
Oh, nice counter left from Berlanga. Willing decision win here. He's pushing forward like he's looking for that knockout.
Yeah, it's that bad blood, you know?
And Berlanga trying to showboat a little bit in the corner.
I think that's a good idea to anger the bull.
There's the uppercut Eddie Reynoso was calling for.
You know, showmanship, showboating is fine in some moments. I'm not a big fan of it when you're down big on the scorecards.
It's like spiking the ball when you score a touchdown and you're down by 42 points.
Berlanga's pulling back with his chin up in the air now. He's getting hit with. He's barely missing. Canelo's barely missing with hooks now around the chin. There it is right there. Berlanga better stop. He came back nicely, but he's picking up his chin in there when he's done punching.
Francis Ngannou returns to MMA, making his PFL debut against Renan Ferreira, 6'8" inches tall. This one for the new PFL Super Fight Championship belt, October 19th.
You okay? 100%. Where's the fucking jab?
There's the power jab, but see, that was a delayed jab. That's how sly a fighter like Canelo is. You know, he relies on speed, he relies on power with that jab. Now he delayed it. Just a little pause right before the right hand, and it landed cleanly on the top of the head of Berlanga. But like you said, Chris, he's been taking these punches well.
You know, Canelo Alvarez can get down and dirty too. He picked up some tricks of the trade growing up in Guadalajara. Anytime Berlanga hits him with something he doesn't like, Canelo gets his back.
Yeah, you can't let anybody think they can get away with that, especially those rabbit punches behind the head.
We're in round 10, scheduled for 12. It is for the Unified Super Middleweight Championship of the World. Daniel Jacobs, how do you think things are going?
Canelo is doing such a fantastic job. He's controlling the pace. I'm loving what I'm seeing from him, and it seems as if now in the championship rounds he's going to more defensive style. It seems almost too as if Edgar Berlanga needs a knockout at this point. He's done well, fought hard, but at this point he's going to have to need a knockout to be victorious against Canelo. Canelo is too experienced, too elusive.
Left in the tank, it's time to start emptying it. You don't want to carry anything back in the locker room.
There was another shot to the left arm of Edgar Berlanga. That arm is going to hurt when this fight's over.
You sure those aren't just red tattoos on his arm?
See, he did it again. He's targeting that arm as he did against Dimitri Bivol, as he did against Callum Smith.
Overhand right from Canelo, left hook from Alvarez.
It's beautiful inside fighting by Canelo, and of course, you know, Berlanga, he responds here and there, but it's too few in between with Canelo's pressure and Canelo's combination.
Whoa, nice. Canelo followed it up with the uppercut. Berlanga still trying to press forward.
It was the exact combination that Canelo landed on Munguia to drop him. He threw away that left hook just to land with a big right uppercut.
That right hand moved Canelo a little bit. There's an uppercut from Berlanga. Still more trash talk from Berlanga. Sergio, did you ever get in there with a fighter who targeted your arms the way Canelo's doing it?
No, never.
Is that Edgar Berlanga is not throwing the jab anywhere near as often, and when he does throw it, it's much slower coming up.
Canelo got a little too cute and ate it in time. That's great and all, but listen, why talk when you can go punch the guy in his face? If you really want to get him back, go hit him.
And that's why I'm giving Berlanga some credit there, Tom, because Canelo, yeah, he's not frustrated, but he has to respect what's coming back from a fighter like Berlanga. And right there, he got caught with a looping left hook. I mean, there's a fighter that has reach on you. Has 3 inches in reach, so you can't get too comfortable pulling away like that if you're Canelo. 5 inches in height, 3 inches is reach. You always got.
Berlanga can take these power shots. You know, usually no matter what's said in the ring and in build up to the fight, Canelo is a gentleman after the fight and shakes hands. I'm not sure that's going to go down that way after this one's over as we enter round 11.
I think you're right. And if you remember, Canelo carries his power late. He knocked out Kovalev in the 11th, and he knocked out Caleb Plant in the 11th.
But this is what Berlanga wants Canelo to do. Come and get me.
There's another headbutt by Berlanga.
There's a nice shot from Berlanga. Left hook, right hand. But Canelo's just landing more and throwing more.
Now give it to Edgar Berlanga. He's exchanging in these moments. Good shot from Canelo.
Man, hurt his hand. You saw him try and shake it out, Sergio.
Yeah, I think it was a twist on his elbow or his bicep. I don't think it was a hand injury or a wrist injury. It's something with his elbow or bicep. If indeed he is hurt.
Well, he's still throwing it.
You know, in Edgar Berlanga's history, he has dealt with a bicep injury before. Needed to have surgery on his bicep several years ago.
Total power punches through round 11. 112 landed for Canelo, 52 for Berlanga.
Yeah, Berlanga's not throwing that right hand anymore. I'm curious to see if he did injure something.
Chris, how do you have this scored as we're here in round 11?
You know, I've got it wide. I've got it 10 rounds to 2. I did give Edgar Berlanga a couple of rounds in the second half of the fight, but 10 rounds to 2 in favor, or sorry, 8 rounds to 2, my fault, in favor of Canelo Alvarez with one 10-8 round thrown into that mix.
Showing for himself, would you say, Sergio?
I think I've given him his just due because I have seen what he's been trying to do. Even though he's not winning rounds, he's following a game plan. He got the respect of Canelo. Now Canelo's trying to knock him out late, which is what he likes to do. But shots like that is keeping Canelo in check. He just still big right hand.
Nice rights and lefts connecting for Canelo as we head to the final round.
Last round, we're going to touch gloves.
You got to give me the best round. It doesn't mean it's a slugfest. You understand? What you just said. Are you listening to me? You got to stay in the center of the ring. What do you see? You do? Then we don't need to be on the ropes. Why are we sitting there?
Y sin descuidarte, empezarlo a combinar, combínalo.
You need more combinations.
Combínalo nomás, ¿eh?
Combinations to the shoulders. Look at that big chopping right hand by Berlanga and coming back with the left hook. Even though Canelo dominated the round, he landed the cleaner shot. He still has to respect what's coming back by the Puerto Rican.
Canelo's last 5 fights have all gone the distance. Will he desperately seek a knockout here with 3 minutes to go. Berlanga desperately needs one. I think Berlanga's pandering to the wrong crowd here.
Yes, he is. Canelo knows this crowd.
Put your hand down.
Berlanga's a brown pair of shoes with a tuxedo in this crowd.
I think we look back on this fight, we will see that those arm shots of Canelo Alvarez made a big difference in the second half of the fight. Maybe it's forced Edgar Berlanga in a way to exchange more if he's not able to throw that jab out as consistently as he was doing it because of how much damage Canelo was put on that left arm.
Well, I will say this for Edgar Berlanga. This is one of the most entertaining Canelo fights we've seen in quite a while.
Yes, it is. And actually one of the better performances by Berlanga.
Better than Charlo?
Considering who he's up against, absolutely.
Better than Jaime Munguia?
I think those two fights are comparable, and I think in much the same way, Edgar Berlanga has at least shown that there is some substance to him, right? Like he came into this fight with a lot of people believing that he was all style, that he was all hype. Now he's not winning this fight by any stretch, but being here in the 12th round and still trading with Canelo Alvarez, that accomplishes something. That amounts to something for a young fighter like Edgar Berlanga.
Good right hand for Berlanga, who's opening up right now as his corner implores him to throw more punches.
Good right hand right there by Canelo to the gut. Berlanga didn't like that shot to the body. I don't know if Canelo knows that.
Good uppercut from Berlanga.
Berlanga is hurt to the body, guys. Look at how he's covering those ribs now. He's about to get hit upstairs, but not get hit to the body.
Berlanga showing a lot of toughness, a lot of grit. Plenty of flash and certainly some substance. 30 seconds left.
And there's your answer right there. Were they going to embrace? Were they going to show respect? Absolutely. There's a man in Canelo. A legend who recognizes another young piece. Well done on both these fighters. I love and respect you. Thank you for the opportunity, is what Berlanga's saying. You need to focus. Focus more, son. A lot of big brother talk about Canelo, but a lot of respect by Alvarez being shown to Berlanga now. And you know what? I like to see this. I like to see humility by bullies. I mean, Berlanga's a bully. Let's keep it real. But whenever you're dealing with a bully slayer like Canelo, you just got to bow your head down and show him respect.
And I'm sure when Edgar Berlanga goes back and watches this fight, obviously there were some nerves going through him in the first half of the fight. I think he'll wonder what would have been different, what might have been different if he had treated the first 6 rounds like he did the last. He probably still would have lost the bulk of them, but he was much more tentative in the first half of the fight as he was trying to ease his way into it against a fighter like Canelo. The second half, he let those hands go and won some of those exchanges.
Chris, let me ask you this. A lot of people felt Berlanga needed 2 or 3 more